Death will come swiftly to those who disturb the king. Egyptologists had worked in Egypt for 31 years, and after a time of tough search, the clock was ticking and the excavation end date was coming nearer and nearer. Howard Carter had discovered the ancient tomb belonging to King Tutankhamun, laying untouched for 3,000 years, filled with Egypt's riches for the boy pharaoh. The belief in a curse was brought to many people's attention due to the mysterious deaths of a few members of Howard Carter's team, along with the fact that a stone had appeared with the curse written on it. But is the idea that there is a curse the misconstrued mentality filled with paranoia and the result of the news-hungry media? Through this, the movie The Curse of King Tut proves to be historically accurate in comparison to the actual historical events, as it acknowledges the chemicals in the tomb, varies alternate reasons to the Lord's death, and recognizes the media's exaggeration. The alleged curse of King Tutankhamun is believed to be casted upon those that disturb the tomb of the king, causing bad luck, illness, or death, is a belief of mere coincidence and involves the paranoia-filled mentality. Curses are proved to be a mere display of mind tricks, as the deaths has a relationship to the chemicals in the tomb, Lord Carnarvon's death, and the amplification that a curse was existing on the media's behalf. A factor that wasn't well known to the public is the chemicals that were present within and during the time of the tomb opening. Laboratory studies have revealed that some ancient mummies do indeed carry mold, including at least two potential dangerous species, Aspergillus niger and Aspergillus flavus. These types of mold can weaken your breathing level, as well as long-term defects, and allows it to weaken, which could have been the reason behind the deaths. In addition, sarcophaguses were full of embalming oils, which were combined with oxygen and linen, and this creates a chemical reaction, creating temperatures of more than 200 degrees Celsius. The excess heat that attacked the workers at the tomb opening could have weakened the immune system, leading to a reason to why Lord Carnarvon and the others could have passed away from. Tombs are also covered with respiratory assaulting bacteria like Pseudomonas and Staphylococcus. Many of the deaths following the tomb opening were defects within the lungs, and this respiratory attacking bacteria could easily have created the defects, leading to an alternate explanation than a curse being involved. Lord Carnarvon, funder of the project itself, passed away from a mosquito bite, which the public sensed to be a message to the funder himself of a possible curse, completely disregarding the idea that there were alternate reasons. A recent study of death records indicated no connection between the numbers of deaths of those who entered the tomb and those on the expedition who did not. This means that there wasn't a connection to the death of the workers and the death of those who didn't, indicating that a curse would have been impossible. His death occurred months after his initial exposure, and the elderly Carnarvon was chronically ill before he set foot in Tut's tomb. The Lord was already sick before entering the tomb, indicating clearly that his death was purely effect of the illness he had preceding the tomb opening. His immune system was so weak that he developed pneumonia, which was the ultimate cause of his death. Lord Carnarvon's death was the result of a weak immune system resulting from the blood poisoning, indicating that a possible curse had no effect on him. The media had completely spurred the events, brainwashing the majority of the public that Lord Carnarvon's death was of relation to the tomb opening. This leading to my next point. Howard Carter, the man who actually opened the tomb, never believed in the curse and lived to a reasonably old age of 64 before dying of entirely natural causes. If such a curse was to exist, wouldn't the main man of the evening, Howard Carter, be the first to be affected? In fact, he didn't get affected at all. The media had said 13 of 20 people who were present at the opening of King Tut's burial chamber died within a few years. Egyptologist Herman E. Winlock proves that of the 26 people present at the opening of the burial chamber, only 6 had died within the next 10 years. The longer the idea of the curse was believed to exist, the larger numbers seemed to become, and when looking at the larger scale of things, it's clear to see that many of the facts were misconstrued. As for the lights going out all over Cairo at Lord Carnarvon's death, power failures in Cairo in 1923 were a common occurrence, and a supernatural cause is hardly needed to explain them. Power failures were hardly a reason to resort to the idea of a curse occurring. Many of the extravagant stories surrounding the curse were created by the media and presented without foundation. You'd think that because of the mysterious deaths, the strange power cuts, and the written curse was enough to believe that a curse exists, but these are merely a reason to resort to a conclusion of a curse. Now, let's get back to the present. All three factors are portrayed throughout the movie accurately in comparison to historical events. The events occurring after the tomb opening is pure coincidence, as the deaths could have been results of the chemicals in the tomb, the exaggerated death of Lord Carnarvon, and the missing foundation from the media. It's clear to tell that the controversy-filled question, curse or coincidence, had all facts pointing at coincidence.